All right. Now, one important concept the previous videos did not cover is the glob expression. A glob expression is essentially an expression that describes a pattern of file names. Previously, Douglas used ls or head or grep in combination with a specific file name. But what if you wanted to grep through all the files in a directory that match a particular pattern? So over here, I'm going to demonstrate this principle. So I've created this directory that has nothing in it. And I'm going to simulate creating 100 files each of .txt files and .pdf files. So it's not important that you know how to do this, but for those of you who are curious, we're going to use a bash for loop. So we're going to say for I in seq 100 do. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this command called touch. Touch is a command that is designed to modify the modified on date and time of a file. But if you use touch with a file that doesn't exist, it creates a blank file with that name. So I'm going to say touch. I'm going to create a file that starts with the name with the character's file, and then followed by this environment variable $random, which you'll learn about environment variables later, .txt. All the $random variable does is it returns a single random integer between 0 and some numbers of tens of thousands, I don't remember. But we're going to touch a txt file, and we're also going to touch a .pdf file. And this is how you do a for loop in bash. Now, these are extensions don't have any particular computer meaning in Linux, so we can create file names named whatever we want. These .txt and .pdf files don't make them text or PDF files. They're just the file names that I'm creating. So if I press enter now, and I type ls, you'll see that there's a whole bunch of files. Some of them have .txt and some of them have .pdf. Now, just as a quick review of piping, I want to know exactly how many files are in this directory. I can say ls, and then pipe the output of ls to a command called word count, wc. Press enter. What this is telling us is that there's 199 sample files. There should be 200. Don't really know why, but that's the principle. So anyway, we have 199 files in this directory now, some of which end in .txt and others that end in .pdf. Now, the glob character allows us to restrict the files that we use for particular commands. So say I wanted to ls out exactly just the text files. I can say ls and use the glob character, which is star, followed by .txt. Now, what this is going to do is the star character represents 0 or more characters. Doesn't matter what characters they are. And the fact that the star is followed by .txt means constrain whatever file names come back to ending in .txt. So if I press enter here, we should see only the text files that we created in the previous step. Now we can do the same thing for the quote-unquote PDF files by saying star.pdf. And these are only the PDF files. It looks like, for some reason, there's one more PDF files than .txt files for some reason. Don't really know why, but some mysteries are best left unsolved. Now, the asterisk character can appear anywhere inside an expression, glob expression. So, for example, if I just wanted to find file names that have one or more fours in them, I could say ls star, which means match 0 or more characters, followed by a 4, followed by another star, which matches 0 or more characters. Now if I press enter now, we see we get a mixture of .txt files and .pdf files, but all of them contain at least one 4 character in the file name. Now some of these files have more than one 4, and that's okay. doesn't really matter because 0 or more characters of any character also includes 4. But all of them have exactly 1 4. And that is essentially how glob expressions are used. And globbing is incredibly powerful and important when you start dealing with hundreds or thousands of files, which you will certainly do in your computational travels. And they're useful for filtering out files that end in a particular extension like we have, or printing out files that contain a particular sub file name in the middle of the file name that you might be interested in using. But that is all you need to know for now about globs.